Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East, a prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We've also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Want to get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Chandana, can we start for today?
Yeah, Faiz, you can
Okay,
start the session.
okay. Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Okay, so what we would be doing today would be a little bit more interesting to what we have done earlier. Okay, so till now, if I go ahead and give you a brief, initially we got introduced to what is generative AI, and we establish something which is called as going ahead and making the language model such as the chat GPT or GPT-4 to go ahead and respond in a way which we wanted to go ahead and respond. Okay, or else we can say we made it respond to the answers which we wanted to go ahead and answer, even though if the original knowledge of the model is saying something else. If the answer for a question is A, and if you want to go ahead and give the answer B, this is what we learned, that how we can go ahead and achieve that in the first session. Then we moved a little bit further where we learned how you can, go ahead and change the behavior of the model as well. Okay. So who was there in the last session? Can you just give a quick recall, or do anyone remember what we did in the last session, which was yesterday? Yes, anyone? You can type it over the chat box as well. Yes, anyone? Okay, so if you don't remember, let me just give you a brief summary. We understood that how we can go ahead and use the function calling of a GPT, okay, such that how we can go ahead and get a structured output, how we can go ahead and use GPT to go ahead and perform any flow or any chat flow, which you can say. Uh, this is something which we achieved in the last session, and I believe I have shared the code for the same. So guess you are going ahead and practicing it after the session. This will go ahead and help you, because whatever we are doing in this session, trust me, this is the recent or the most what we say important skills required in the market right now when it comes to Gen AI. Okay, so we have learned a function calling, and we have also learned which is something which is called as going ahead and making the GPT respond to your own data. Okay, so these are the two things which we have gone ahead and done. Today, what we would be going ahead and achieving is something which would be a next level thing which we would be going ahead and doing. we would be going ahead and understanding what are agents in the world of generative AI. So these language models were introduced which have the capacity of understanding what a human is trying to say. Okay. Now we would be coming across to something which is called as agent, which is developed to support this LLM and to go ahead and enhance the power of generative AI such that eliminate work which are already a skilled work. Like for an example, there are jobs which demand that a human should go ahead and know Excel, or it would say it should go ahead and know SQL. It should go ahead and know AWS or any of the tools, such that there are jobs which go ahead and ask for any requirement of a tool knowledge. This is what jobs are out there. Like for example, you would be coming across jobs which demands the skill of Excel. So when there is an opening for Excel, what is expected from that person? That person should know Excel. That person should know the functions of Excel. That person should be familiar with what we say the interface of Excel and any task which needs to be performed, such as going ahead and drawing pivot tables or writing any formulas or going ahead and performing any calculation within Excel. That person should be able to go ahead and do so. Why it is not easy for everyone? See, if I you go ahead and give me an Excel sheet, and if you tell me to go ahead and take the average of a particular column, I know that what I have to do, I have to sum each and every column, and what I have to do, I have to sum each and every column and divide by the number of elements which are there. This will go ahead and give me the average of that column, but I won't know that what is the formula for that. That thing, someone who knows that, can be said as that person is professional in Excel and he is eligible for the role if there is an opening for an Excel. Now, what these agents are capable to do so? These agents are capable of understanding human language and performing any task which you need to go ahead and perform. So agents are nothing but an replacement of humans, which can go ahead and think like a human and behave like a human and perform the task like a human. Okay, so it an agent would be knowing that if you are talking to go ahead and take average, like for an example, I will just say go ahead and take the average of a particular column. It will go to that column and apply the formula and take the average of that column for me. This is what an agent is capable of going ahead and doing, is thinking like a human brain and implementation of a particular task just like a human would go ahead and perform. So what we are doing, we are eliminating the need of knowing a particular formulas or knowing a particular product. Similar goes for SQL. SQL works on commands like select, alter, and everything are the commands. So we can also go ahead and eliminate the need of a person to know SQL or Excel or whatever it may be. Okay, we can just go ahead and use natural language, just we are talking right now, and go ahead and do the task which could be performed by SQL commands or SL formulas. This is something which we are going to try and achieve today, where we would be going ahead and making use of agents to go ahead and perform the task which can be performed by any human. Okay. So for that, the frameworks which we would be going ahead and using would be LangChain. Okay, so let me just open the official documentation of LangChain. Okay, so whatever code you need or whatever knowledge you need. So remember one thing in the domain of IT. The good part is we have something which is called as a documentation. Okay, so any code or anything which you need in terms of help, if you are stuck anywhere, no need to go ahead and explore the internet or watch any YouTube video or waste your time. Okay, because as this is very new, this is just arrived and it is still in the R&D phase, you would be finding the answer in the documentation. Okay, so there is an what we say a LangChain documentation which explains about agent and would be also going ahead and helping you with a quick start, that how to write the code and how you can go ahead and begin with that. Okay, so you can read as much as you want about the agent, know in detail about the agent. I am just taking an example example of a CSV agent, there are n number of agents which go ahead and perform different roles. Trust me, there are also the AI or the domain of AI, it's reached to a situation where multiple agents can also go ahead and talk with each other. Like for an example, I want to go ahead and create a website. I can create an agent which will create the front end. I can create an agent which will be creating a back end, and I can create an agent if a chatbot is required on the website. An agent can also go ahead and create a chatbot as well. These three agents would be internally communicating with each other, and there could also be an agent which would be a project coordinator over there, and the project coordinator agent would be going ahead and taking the updates from each and every agent and making sure that the project is completed. So this is where you would be thinking that this is something which looks or which seems to be a little bit not true, but yes, the industry is reached to a position where we have multiple agents talking to each other and executing a task in a way such that a team of human go ahead and perform. Okay, right now going ahead and understanding the complexity of code or the logic be under such multiple agents would be difficult. So what I am trying or what my plan for today is to just go ahead and make you introduced to a basic structure of how an agent could work. Okay, this is what would be the agenda for today. Okay, so I would be going ahead and helping you with the code for the same. So if you also want to type, you can go ahead and type alongside. Okay, I am just sharing the documentation over the chat window. You can just go through it for 5 minutes. This is the official documentation of agents from the LangChain framework, which we would be going ahead and using to go ahead and create an agent. Okay. I want everyone to go through it at least for 2 or 3 minutes and read something. In case if you're not understanding anything, ask me. Obviously, it's not possible to go ahead and understand everything conceptually in the very first session, but yes, I want you to just go through it at least once. Okay, so if you have gone through it, okay, so let me just give you a summary of what we are planning to achieve today. So the today's plan is quite easy and simple, okay, not much of a coding would be involved, okay. So what we would be doing is we would be going ahead and creating a CSV agent. CSV agent means nothing but an agent which knows the all the formulas or all the execution within an Excel file, that how to go ahead and travel to the Excel file. Okay, and how to go ahead and extract any details from the Excel file, or how to go ahead and apply formulas to the Excel file is something which we would be understanding. So we would be working on a concept known as CSV agent. We would be going ahead and taking some data from Kaggle or anywhere, and we would be seeing how if we go ahead and ask any question in natural language, how that agent is going ahead and responding us. Okay, so this is what we would be going ahead and achieving today. So obviously we would be going ahead and using something which is called as LangChain. as a framework, and behind the scenes the language model which we would be using would be GPT-4. So till now we were using GPT 3.5 turbo. Now the model which we would be using would be GPT-4 turbo. We can also use GPT-5 3.5 turbo, but GPT-4 turbo seems to work very well when it comes to working on agents. Okay, so GPT-4 turbo is something which we would be using. So we'll import the dependencies. I want you to type along with me. Okay, so this would be the three dependencies which we would be requiring for today's project. Okay, so firstly, we are importing chat OpenAI, which is nothing but a function which allows us to go ahead and use the chat models from OpenAI. The model which we would be using would be GPT 3.4 Turbo. Okay, the agent which is defined to go ahead and perform any calculation or analysis on an Excel file is known as create CSV agent. So we are going ahead and directly calling the agent from the LangChain environment. Okay, and then we need to go ahead and define our agent type. Okay, so right now just understand agent type is nothing but the OpenAI function agent type which we would be going ahead and using. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and define our agent. So it's create CSV agent. In case if you are confused anytime that what this function does, you can go ahead and read the documentation. Also here you would be having all the details about the function. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to call the chat OpenAI within it. Okay, can anyone tell me, I did explain previously what temperature means. Can anyone tell me what temperature means? Just give me a minute. Okay, yeah, I just want anyone to type over the chat box what temperature means. No one is able to recall what temperature means. Yes, anyone can go ahead and tell me. Correct. The variations in the question is something which is referred to as temperature. Okay, sorry for the disturbance in the chat again and again. I have just deleted Teams from my system now. Okay, yeah. So temperature obviously means the variation in the answers. Yes. So higher the temperature, the higher the variation you would be seeing in the responses every time for the same question. Okay. So chat OpenAI obviously would be asking, okay, yes, you want to go ahead and use me, but I would be going ahead and generating answer for you. So what is the temperature which you want to keep? So obviously we would be keeping temperature as 0. Okay, so temperature would be 0. Then what model you would be going ahead and using? So we would be using GPT 4 Turbo. This is the model which we would be going ahead and using. Initially we used GPT 3.5 Turbo, and now we would be using GPT-4 Turbo. The next thing it takes into consideration is the data set. Okay, what is the data set which on which you would be going ahead and liking to go ahead and query all about. Okay, so data set is something which we would be going ahead and adding later. Okay, okay, I believe this is it. Okay, uh now we just need to go ahead and add the data set here. Okay, so the data set is something which I have already downloaded from Kaggle. Okay, I would be showing you the data set. Okay, so this is the data set. This is the loan data set. Let's just explore this data set. So there are different customers. Okay, 25,000 approximately customers are there. Okay, and this is the age of the customer, income of the customer, the status of the house which they are living in. Is it a owned house, rented house, or house in mortgage? Okay, how for how long they've been employed. Okay, this there are some errors in the data set as well. Okay, so just ignore that for the time being. What we are understanding is that how exactly this agent work and what is the capacity or what are the limitations of this. Okay, various factors of a person and what is the loan amount which they could be eligible of. Okay, so this is the what we say the data set which explains that according to the details of a person, that whatever it is and whoever he or she is, what is the loan amount he or she is eligible for. Okay, so this is the data set. Now what we would be doing, we would be going ahead and loading this data set over here. So I need to make sure it is in the same folder. Okay. As we have the data set over here, we would be going ahead and loading the data set. Yeah. Mm, okay, so I have loaded the data set over here. Okay, I have used a agent called as create CSV agent, and in which I have used OpenAI ka chat model, and temperature zero model would be GPT-4, and this would be the data set on which we would be going ahead and querying. Okay, as I said, we also need to go ahead and mention the agent type as well. Okay, so I would be going ahead and mentioning the agent type. Seems good. Now let's run this. Chat. Let's see, agent dot run. Hi. Let's send a basic hi. It still doesn't work. Just give me 1 minute. Let me just check what could be the possible reason we are facing this error. Hmm, Maybe there could be an issue in the environment which we have created. Okay. So now let me just check if it works here. If it works here, then there would be a no issue. Okay, it worked here. I'm not sure why it didn't work there. Okay, so no worries. Okay, so this is the same code. I was just testing it earlier before the session. Okay, so this is the same code. Now what we would be doing is we would be going ahead and working with the single data set once. Okay, so as we mentioned the loan data set. Okay, I would be going ahead and explaining each and every parameter which is involved over here. Okay, so yes, create CSV agent में से we are going ahead and calling the chat model, which is the 3.4 turbo. Verbose true means like an agent perform various steps to go ahead and get a desired output. So what are the steps involved while going ahead and getting this output is something which if you need to see, okay, then you go ahead and make verbose is equal to true. Okay, handling parsing errors, like for an example, if there is null values in the data set, if the data is not clean properly, or there is any encoding error within the data set, if you want your agent to go ahead and handle that as well, then you can go ahead and make handling passing error is equal to true. Or else if you keep it as false, anytime any such incident happen, it will go ahead and just throw you an error. So if you want the code to run gracefully without any error or interruption, you can go ahead and make handling passing error is equal to true. Okay, so yes, we were on this loan data set. Okay, so now if I go ahead and ask any question, like this is the loan data set, what do you think could be a possible question which I could go ahead and ask from this CSV file? Tell me. Yes, can anyone can go ahead and add a question over the chat box for which they feel we could go ahead and ask to from this data set such that a model, or else what we can do is we can all I can also help you with one more data set which looks a little bit simple and which you can go ahead and relate as it is related to songs from Spotify. Okay, we can also go ahead and ask any questions from that. Okay, so track name and the artist name and the release year, whatever it may be you feel. If you want me to go ahead and ask to the model, let's see if it is able to answer or not. If I go ahead and ask the model that name me the song released by Gunna in the year 2023. Okay, if I go ahead and ask this question, name me the song released by. So the answer should be this. Okay, this should be the answer. Let's see what it does. So it has entered the agent chain. Okay. Okay, so we need to go ahead and read this data set as well. Okay. So I would be reading this data set. And we will print message over here. The song released by Gunna in 2023 is titled Fukumin. And you can see the same thing is written over here. So sort, filter, everything which could be within the capabilities of an Excel file, we can go ahead and achieve that by using a agent. Okay, which is the CSV agent which we just used. Okay, I want you to take 5 minutes for the people who are actually typing the codes. Okay, I see a few messages saying that if they you need to type the code real time. Okay, so you can go ahead and type the code. You can take 5 minutes of time and you can type the code. If I go ahead and keep this verbose is equal to false, or I don't add the verbose over here, it would be directly going ahead and concluding the answer to me. So this verbose is just for your reference if you want to go ahead and see how exactly it arrived to a particular response. Okay, here what it did is it made a subcategory of this data frame. It applied this formula over here. This is by using the pandas library. It applied this formula and it went ahead and achieved this answer. So converting your natural language into what we say Python codes or Excel commands and extracting the information just by applying natural language is something which is the capability of a CSV agent, and you can go ahead and use it on any of the data set you want. Okay, so do anyone have any of the data set on which they would like to go ahead and try, or any type of question which they want me to go ahead and try? Can let me know. The data set is here in front of me. You can let me know what type of question you would like me to go ahead and ask it. This data set or the loan data set. Any question you can go ahead and tell me. I can go ahead and ask it and we can check that what could be the limitation of this model. If I go ahead and ask it what is the average interest rate on the loan. So what it needs to do, it needs to go ahead and take the average of this column, correct? So let's see how it goes ahead and give us the answer. it says that it is not able to answer. I know the reason why. Can anyone over the chat box tell me what could be the possible reason why we are getting this? Yes, anyone can help me over the chat box? Yeah, because the data set is not loaded. We have loaded a different data set and we are querying on a different data set. So the loan data set is over here. We just need to go ahead and specify the name of that data set. Okay, and now we would be going ahead and asking the same question. So let's see what it does and how it arrives to a particular number. It says the average interest rate on loan is approximately 13.91%. If I go ahead and share this data set with you, go ahead and apply any formula and try to, perform the same task which it performed automatically. Okay, I have shared the data set in the chat box. Let me know. Okay, so it has calculated. So any type of analytics or calculation within an Excel sheet can be performed by using this agent. Okay, so there are n number of more agents available out there. Okay, so if you want to, go ahead and perform SQL queries or execute the SQL queries using natural language, you also have an option of something which is called as SQL agent. Okay, where you go ahead and connect your Python code to any SQL database and you can go ahead and query the SQL and you can extract any information from the SQL using natural language. Okay. Now, one last thing which I would like to show is you can go ahead and add n number of data set. You can go ahead and make it answer on multiple data set as well. Okay, so like I need to go ahead and show you one thing. What if I go ahead and try to ask two different questions from two different database? Like one Excel file would be having answer to one question, and second Excel file would be having answer to another question. So let's see what it does. Okay, one is from this Spotify database, and one would be from this loan wala dataset. So let's see how it goes ahead and perform under such scenarios. So here it is. This it can go ahead and perform the merge, join operation and everything, and it can go ahead and travel to the multiple data set at once and go ahead and get the answer from multiple data sets as well. Okay, so this is something which a human can achieve, but you can see at the processing speed. If would go ahead and tell you to go ahead and achieve the same thing, at least a human, whatever the proficiency or level would be, it would go ahead and take 5 to 10 minutes. But you can see within 7 seconds we have received the output, okay, from an Excel sheet. So this is what an agents can be capable of, and trust me, agents are the future. Okay, whatever we were learning till now for the past two sessions, what we got a glimpse about the language model and question and basic question and answering and making it answer according to the way we want. Okay, so this is something which has already been done. Okay, which has already been very old. Okay, but this is something which is very new. Okay, so I would love if you go ahead and divert your focus to this, which is agents. Okay, because this would nearly be the future. Okay, and I want you to go ahead and practice on this more. Obviously I would be going ahead and sharing the code. I have seen a message which says that the data set is not received. Sorry for that. I just forgot to click on enter. Okay, so the reason why it is not getting shared because the file is too big to share. Okay, so what I can do is, if you can see my screen, I would be going ahead and sharing a website which is an open source website where you can go ahead and get each and every data set in the world. Okay, so I just took an example of two data set. Okay, you can go ahead and get any data set and use the same code to go ahead and query. Okay, so it's kaggle.com where you can go ahead and get the data set. So go there and you can download the data set from there itself. Okay, so yes, this was about CSV agents in a nutshell. Okay, or I would say agents overall. So each and every agent would be having own individual properties in which they can go ahead and perform. So here there could be many agents, like there is something which is called as SQL agent, Spark agent, Pandas data frame agent. Pandas, what the Pandas data frame agent will do is it will go ahead and give you an output in the form of a data frame. Here, what is happening is here we are going ahead and getting output of a question and an answer format. Pandas data frame agent will go ahead and give you an output in the form of a tabular format or in a data frame format. Let's for an example, if you want to go ahead and create a subset of a data set, what you have to do, if you are doing it using Python, you have to write the code of Python. If you are doing it in Excel, you need to go ahead and apply the formula, create a subset, store it to a new file. Here what this code, this data frame agent does is you just need to go ahead and type create a data frame. Okay, from this data frame only for the entries which are of this particular values. Okay, it will go ahead and create a subset of the data frame and give it to you in the form of a file and save it to your local. Okay, so these are the capacities of agent. So what I'll do is I'll just share this code with you. You can go ahead and try it. Okay, for the people who are practicing, very good. After the session, for the people who are not practicing, start practicing. This is something which would be very important for you and which can go ahead and help you to, if you are within this what we say domain, good. But if you want to get into this domain, this could be a major game changer over here. If you have knowledge about this, obviously you would be opening wide range of opportunities for you. I have shared the main.ipynb file with you. Okay, so what I would request you is to go through it. Okay, and if you have any doubts related to this, approach to me in the next session when we would be meeting. Anything else, or any questions or any doubt related to what is the topic which we learned today? Anyone could have any question, or they would want me to go ahead and ask a particular type of question or take a particular type of data set which you would be of your interest, or any of the line within the code which you are not aware of. If you can see, we have hardly written any code. Okay, so I have also shared the documentation of LangChain. If you just go ahead and check types of agents in LangChain, you would be getting this documentation at the very first. Okay, here there are all types of agents which are there in the LangChain. You can read this as well. Okay, also I would like you to go ahead and introduce to something which is called as AutoGen, which is from Microsoft. Okay, see, this is AutoGen from Microsoft. It is a multi-agent platform. Okay, as I was saying, a multi-agent platform which can, in which you can go ahead and create multiple agents which are interacting with each other. So this is similar to LangChain. So LangChain is more focused towards going ahead and performing basic level task, okay, or making the task easier or fast, whatever you would be going and performing. This is something which is on a little advanced side. Okay, I would be sharing this website as well. I want you to at least go through it. See, understanding it core wise or very deeply is something which I believe, yes, it won't be possible, but yes, it can go ahead and help you to understand what exactly is needed right now when you call yourself as a generative AI engineer, or when you want to go get into a domain of generative AI. What exactly are the things which you need to be aware about, or where your exact focus should be, and what are the things which you should learn? Okay, so as I said, agents would be the future, and I want you to go ahead and explore this multi-agent framework, where I took an example initially where multiple agents are talking with each other and making sure that the given task is been executed. Okay, so this is also a framework which you can uh go through it. When we would be meeting in the next session, we would be going ahead and continuing from here. Okay, in case if you have any doubt, let me know, or else we are good for today. Yes, anyone, any doubt, any question? I have shared the files and whatever the links I was referring to. In case if you have any doubts, you can let me know, or else we are good to go.
Okay, Faiz. So I hope you are done.
Yeah, I am done for today.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you, students, for joining. Yeah, we'll meet on tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day for this session. So, okay. Yeah, thank you. Good night, everyone.
Chandrika,
Chandana.
oh sorry, Chandan, I have just pinged you. Can you just reply to that?
Sure. Okay, I will get back to you, Faiz, regarding that. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
maybe we can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
okay,
have to, connect with my manager and I'll let you know.
okay, no worries. Thank you,
Yeah.
Chandana. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Good night.